Hey guys, in 2024, CrossFit expanded the amount of people that can participate in quarterfinals from 10% to 25%. That means there's going to be a lot of you that are doing this for the first time. I'm going to share with you 4 things to help you get ready for quarterfinals. Nutrition and sleep, the gear you might want to have for quarterfinals, how to set up your cameras to film your quarterfinal workouts, and then how to mentally and physically prep for the workouts once they've been released. Let's jump in. All right, first thing, let's talk about nutrition. So I eat what I need to eat every day to support my training. And that consistency bleeds over into competition. So when it comes to the qualifiers, I just eat what I always eat so that my body's not surprised in any way when I do any of the qualifier workouts. Simple as that. So the night before a qualifier workout, I'm gonna eat what I normally eat for dinner, which is typically about a pound of meat, either ground beef or chicken, some rice or some sweet potatoes, and sometimes there's a little green stuff on there, but not that much. What I'm not doing is trying to do something brand new for dinner that I've never had, like, I don't know, tofu lasagna, and then the next morning try to have this high intense workout. Not gonna experiment the night before. I just eat what I normally eat, move on and try to get the best sleep that I can the night before the qualifier or a competition. If you haven't been fueling yourself well, this video is released a couple weeks before quarterfinals, so there's still time to do that. As a simple rule of thumb, to get what you need every day, just make sure you're getting your body weight in protein. I prefer animal proteins as much as possible. I will supplement with whey protein to make sure I hit my protein needs, and then just make sure you have healthy carbs and fats with every meal. We can get into details on that in a different video, or you can reach out to me, and also try to avoid grain if at all possible. We'll talk about that later. As I get ready for bed, for me, I want to try to get the best night of sleep that I can prior to a qualifier. So I always take Thirdzy before bed. You've seen this in my videos before. It's a PM recovery collagen. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but you should definitely check this out. I get the best sleep of my life with this stuff. So you sleep well, you get up the morning of your qualifier, eat a regular breakfast. Really, really simple. For me, it looks like this. Rice. Not that much rice. About 1.5 cups of rice. Yogurt. Love this stuff. And if you want to make your yogurt really yummy, just add a packet of Orange Crush to it, and now it's an amazing yogurt, trust me. And if you don't want rice, just a little bit of fruit and maybe some honey. For breakfast before training, I'm really just kind of focused on protein and carbs. Not super worried about fats. I catch up on all of that later in the day. And just as important as being fueled for your workouts, you need to make sure you're hydrated. Now, hydration isn't just drinking a big jug of water. It's adding electrolytes to that water. I like Element. Element has all the sodium, potassium, and magnesium that I need to power my workouts. I actually take it as a pre-workout, about half of this full of water, and I start sipping on this 30 minutes to arriving at the gym. By the time I get to the gym, I have consumed about that much water with this. It's very potent, and I've just found my performance explodes when I'm well hydrated and pre-hydrated literally with salt. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt, with no sugar. Element is used by everyone from NBA, NFL, and NHL players to CrossFit Games champions. Right now, Element is offering you guys a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/jasongrubb. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/jasongrubb. Element is a sponsor, obviously, but I would take Element even if they weren't a sponsor, and everyone I've recommended Element to has thanked me. They absolutely love it, and they've noticed those performance gains. So give it a go, trust me, it's good stuff. And start doing that prior to qualifiers, not the morning of. Let's get a rhythm of that going beforehand. If I do more than one qualifier in a single day, I'm going to take Element multiple times. So I might have 2 or even 3 packets if I were to do 3 qualifiers in one day, which would be a lot. I don't think we'll have to do that this year. Also, if it's been a while between breakfast and the actual workout, I might have a quick applesauce packet about 10-15 minutes before the actual workout. I just want to make sure that my glycogen reserves are completely topped off before I do this max effort workout. And applesauce is great. You could do candy. I prefer applesauce. And because the qualifier is going to span over multiple days, just eat as if you're training. It's as simple as that. I'm going to eat the same thing I eat when I'm training as I am during a multiple day competition or qualifier. All right, let's talk about gear. So I carry all the gear that I need in this backpack. So I'm ready for training or I'm ready for any qualifier workout. And here are the things you may want to have for your qualifier workout. Obviously grips, but not just one pair. I like to have multiple pairs of grips so that I always have a backup pair. If for some reason something happens and this fails, I've got my backup pair. Or maybe I like these for bar muscle ups, I like these for ring muscle ups. So I'm gonna kind of favor that. Or if I'm on the slippery bar at the gym, I use these grips. So I have grips for all situations. Look, I'm a sweater, okay? I sweat. I'm in my garage recording this video right now and I'm starting to sweat. So by the end of the video, I'm gonna be all glistening. So in workouts, I'm always gonna wear wristbands. There's a couple of reasons why I'm gonna wear wristbands while I'm training or I'm in a qualifier. One, we talked about sweat. So sweat is gonna pour down my arms and stop at the wristbands. If sweat pours onto my hands and I'm using a barbell, the barbell is gonna get quite slippery. If I'm wearing grips, the grips are gonna get all sweaty. So wristbands are gonna act as like a dam to block the deluge of sweat that's coming down my arms. I also, at times, will actually need to wipe off my eyes or my face. And it's right there, it's really easy. I know that's simple stuff. The third reason is that I like to have a gap between my watch and my grips, all right? If the grips are on without the wristband, the grips will punch a button on my watch, and I just don't want that. I could also lock my watch, or I could flip the face upside down. I don't want to do any of those things. I like the watch the way it is. So I just wear a wristband and it creates a buffer in there so that those buttons don't get pushed. Because I like to wear my watch. I like to track the workouts. I like to track the time. I sometimes like to glance down and see where my heart rate is. So I want that watch to operate as usual. The wristband just helps it stay that way. Have a weightlifting belt that's just yours. Most gyms will have weightlifting belts up on the wall. I like to have one that's just mine, that I train in, I practice in, and I'm ready for competition in this belt. I know what it feels like. I know how tight to pull it. It's actually probably got a crease exactly where I wear it. So I always want to have that. If you're a thumb tape wearer, make sure you've got plenty. I always have extra, just in case. I haven't run out in years because I always have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in my bag. Make sure you've got your shoes, make sure you've got your lifters. Make sure you have your jump rope and your backup jump rope. I have been in a qualifier workout where one jump rope failed. Thankfully, I had a second jump rope there that I could just grab and jump right back into the workout. Did you catch that? Could jump right in. Make sure you have your own clips. I like having these because a good pair of clips is gonna make sure that when I'm dropping a barbell or I'm cycling a barbell, the plates are securely on that barbell. I know these clips, I use them regularly, and it's just something that I'm used to. So if I have to change my own plates, sometimes that happens at a qualifier workout. I know the intricacies of these clips. You gotta push it extra to get it loose enough to take it off the bar. I can do that really quickly. So have yours, know them, and get ones that are high quality that will lock those plates on that barbell for you. Last thing you wanna do is make an adjustment in the middle of a qualifier workout. I mentioned having your jump rope and your backup jump rope. You're also gonna wanna have a beaded jump rope. I like these from Reyllyn. I love the long handle. It helps me get across my body on crossovers. We saw single crossovers for the individual athletes last year. I imagine we'll see them again, and masters will probably see crossovers as well. And you really want a beaded jump rope for that. Other jump ropes will totally work. This is gonna make your life 1,000% better. There's still time to get one. All right, and here's the bonus round. You wanna have some honey. This is great just to like squirt in your mouth between workouts, but that's not why. If you find yourself at a pull-up bar that's really, really slick, you can use a mixture of this and chalk to really make that bar super chalky. Let me show you. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna get some honey on your hands. A little bit on your hands and get that on your, this is a terrible experience. You're gonna wanna wash your hands afterwards. You get that honey on there, you work it into the bar, okay? Get it nice and sticky. Once you've done that, grab your chalk, and rub that chalk on there just like that. Have a bucket, because you're gonna make a huge mess. Get that chalk lined on there really, really good. Then, once you've chalked up both sides, work that chalk in with those sticky hands and that sticky bar, and you're gonna just wanna wash your hands afterwards, but it's gonna create that nice grippy bar that you want for bar muscle ups, pull-ups, toes to bar, whatever you need up here. If you have tape up on the bar, that obviously makes it really grippy, but you can't wear grips with tape. So get that tape off the bar, put your grips on, honey and chalk up the bar, and your grips will stick like nothing else. And it's not because of the honey. The honey just makes the chalk stick to the bar, and then your grips stick to the chalk. That's how the world turns. Next, let's talk about filming your workouts. For quarterfinals, you have to film all of your workouts and submit a link to your video with your score. We don't know how many videos they're actually gonna review, but you have to submit a video showing that you completed the workout. So first, you just wanna make sure that you have your setup correct according to normally the layouts they put in the notes. So they'll tell you where they want the camera so that it's at the right angle to view you moving correctly through a workout. Also, I like to have 2 cameras running at the same time. I have my GoPro and I have my iPhone. Like, this may be overkill. You can use one of these, you can use both of them, you can use multiple cameras. You could also use like an iPhone and an iPad. I've done that. I've had an iPad sitting on a box with a dumbbell holding it in place, with an iPhone on a camera stand. You could do something like that, but you always want to have redundancy. One time, out of 10 years in qualifiers, I had an iPhone fail. It actually ran out of memory. Thankfully, I had a second camera running, so I didn't have to worry about it. There'd be nothing worse than working your way through one of these grueling workouts and have a camera malfunction. So have two. Make sure you're redundant. It's really simple. This is my setup. iPhone and GoPro. I can actually take this off my stand, and I'll show you how I do this. Take this off my stand, and I can go and I can show, like, here's my 45-pound weights, here's my 15-foot rope, here's my rings, here's everything that I need for this workout, and I can see both of them here. And the GoPro is a little bit wider, the iPhone is not quite as wide. And so if CrossFit ever had a question about the width of the GoPro video, I could always show the iPhone video. And I just make sure that if we're doing rope climbs, everything is in both videos. If we're doing handstand walks across the floor, make sure you're far enough back that you have everything in both videos so that they're both valid. Now here's how this works. I'll put a link to all of these elements in the description. I've got the iPhone holder. Okay, this just screws in to this attachment here. Simple. This holds an iPhone, just like that. This is an attachment. It's called a hot shoe attachment. That goes into a hot shoe, okay? I also have the GoPro attached. I can loosen this, take the GoPro off, set that on the ground. This GoPro is upside down. You can have a right side up or upside down. It knows. If it's upside down, it'll adjust accordingly. It just happens to slip into that hot shoe nicely like that. I have this piece, which is really a handle to hold a camera like this. You attach a camera like that. I use it in lots of different ways. This piece will allow you to attach hot shoes on all kinds of different angles. You can attach 3 or 4 different cameras to this thing if you want. I have this quick release attached to this. You unscrew this. This quick release is part of an attachment that allows me to take this plate off and on really easily. That's how I get that off. I could also set it in and out of this tripod because this quick release is just screwed in to the tripod. See, those both have the same mount on there. This is a quick release. This is a tripod mount. I could, of course, have this screwed into this and just unscrew the tripod like that. But what I like to do is I like to make sure that everything is all locked in before 3, 2, 1, go. And then when we start recording, we just pop that one thing off the top and the tripod stays the same. When we're done, we put it right back on and it's right where we left off. And I have a good tripod. Tripods are cheap. It doesn't matter. This is a metal tripod. I prefer metal. Plastic, metal, doesn't matter. Remember, when you do your video, you have to start the video and you have to tell the camera, I'm Jason Grubb, this is quarterfinals, I'm 45 to 49 years old. The details of what you have to say differ. You normally have to say a password for the particular workout. Like there are 2 different windows for quarterfinals, so they'll have a password for the first set of workouts. Say the password is A&W root beer. You know, I don't know. That's the password. You just have to say that, and you normally have to say it at the end of the workout. But I'll say it before and after just to be clear. Then you take your cameras and you go and you film everything that needs to be shown to prove you're using the right weights, the right barbell, the right height on the rope climb, you're using gymnastics rings, the height of a plyo box, you have your tape measure handy. Ooh, that's a piece of equipment you're gonna wanna have. Have your tape measure ready for quarterfinals. Note to self, I gotta put mine in my bag. And after you're done filming all of the required equipment, put the camera back and you get in place. Make sure your judge is ready, make sure you're ready, and start your clock. You always have to make sure there's a clock in the video. There's 2 ways to do that. You could have a standard clock like this, running in the background. You can use something like the WeTime app or another app that has a video with a timer on it. You can have that as well, but just know that if something happens on that app in your phone, you have the GoPro, but it doesn't have a timer on it. So I always like to just have a timer in the background so that redundancy, we've got it. Maybe I have that running and I have it running in the app, that's fine too. But just make sure, like, can both cameras see a clock? If they can't, do something to make sure that they can. Now let's put this back together. Last tip on this, don't save this for game day. Practice this before you get to qualifiers. Take this in if you're doing a class, set it up, make it non-conspicuous, no big deal, just set it up, see if it works. If you're doing something like open gym, or if you're in your garage, practice setting it up, practice taking this off and actually filming your weights, try to get a measuring tape, see how you would do this with someone else helping you. They're gonna be holding this, you might be holding the tape measure. You pretty much wanna keep yourself in the frame at all times when you're doing the video. So have someone help you. Practice this, start it, record, finish the workout, say a password like A&W root beer or something like that. There's just one over there. And then review your videos. Was everything correct in the video? Did you have the handstand walking distance correct so you could see it and you never stepped out of frame? Make sure that you do that. Make sure you could see all the way on the top for the rope climbs. Watch the video to make sure you got deep enough on squats. Did you get that barbell overhead? Was your arm bent straight? Was it out in front or was it overhead? Make sure that Andrew Hiller is not gonna grab your video and make a video about you because your video is online. And on that note, when you upload your video to YouTube, if you don't have an account, you just have to create an account or sign into YouTube. You can upload the video and you can make the video public or unlisted, but it cannot be private. Private means that no one else but you can see it. If you make it unlisted, anyone who has that link can see the video. If you make it public, anyone in the world can see it. So choose how you want your video to be seen. I normally just go with unlisted because I only need CrossFit to see it. Or, I might make them all public so that y'all can watch. I'm fine with that too. When the workouts get released, obviously come back to this channel. I will share my strategies and thoughts about every one of the workouts. You'll also want to do some mental and physical prep for the workouts. First, the mental prep. Once you see the workouts, you can start to visualize your way through those workouts. That's one of the ways that I get lots of reps in before I actually do a qualifier or a competition event, is I rehearse the event over and over and over in my head. For example, the qualifier, I might actually rehearse what needs to happen with the camera, going all the way through reviewing the weights, measuring all of that stuff to the 3, 2, 1, go. And then I'm gonna pick up the barbell. I'm gonna do the barbell work. And then where's the chalk? I'm gonna think about where and when I need to grab chalk, grab some chalk and then move to the pull-ups. If pull-ups are in, I'm just making up this workout. So then how many steps before I get to the pull-ups? Okay, I do the pull-ups, I hop down. Do I need chalk going back to the barbell or not? Probably not. Let's just get straight to the barbell, get to work, get some chalk, get on the bar. Let's think about breathing. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 breaths there between each rep. I'm gonna try to take 3 or 4 breaths as I move over here. And I do that routine in my head over and over and over again until I really feel like I understand the workout. And I'm training my brain on how to get through this workout. So I'm not just making it up on the fly as I do the workout, unless I need to call an audible, and I always leave a little bit of room for that. I've done lots of reps of this workout without actually picking up a barbell. Another mental prep would be to start calling your shot. Like think, okay, so if this is a 5-round workout, round 1 could take me 30 seconds. Okay, by round 2, I'm probably gonna be a little more fatigued. Maybe that's gonna be like 35 or 40 seconds. And the next round's gonna be 40 seconds. If I can hold 40 seconds around, okay. So you're starting to strategize your way through this workout and think about how much time it's gonna take to get through each one of these elements, eventually calling your shot. Like, I'm gonna get done with this workout in under 8 minutes. And so you've got all that mapped out and planned out. Some of you may even write that down in a notebook and just work on that math. Like, does that make sense? How long does it take me to do a thruster? Maybe it's 2 seconds per thruster, 3 seconds per burpee, a half a second per pull-up. I don't know, but work on some of that math so that you're mentally prepared and have those timestamps in your head for that workout. Like, I should be done with round 1 by 45 seconds. This stuff is not trivial. Like, this is legit. I do this before all of my qualifier workouts. So if I have that whole game plan mapped out, I can know if I'm coming out too hot. I love to do all that mental prep. Again, it gives me that ability to do a ton of reps without actually getting physically wrecked by practicing this workout. But I do want to actually practice the workout a little bit physically. I like to practice transitions a lot. So as I'm warming up for a particular qualifier event, I'm gonna work on transitions during the warm-up. Like if it's burpees to thrusters, God forbid, I'm gonna finish a burpee, stand up and figure out what do I need to do to get to that thruster? Is it step, step, pick up the bar and go? Or is it turn around, pick up and go? If I'm doing burpee box jump overs and then I'm getting to a pull-up bar, I'm gonna practice that transition, getting off that box, walking over to the pull-up bar, practice getting chalk, practice that path back and forth through the movements and be thinking in my head, okay, so I'm going from here to here. I'm gonna grab that, I'm gonna do this and this. Practice and rehearse that a few times. It's a great way to warm up, but it's also a really great way to condition your brain and your body for what's about to come. you'll be fully prepared by just doing a few practice things. I'll tell you this one story and then we'll wrap it up. At the 2023 CrossFit Games, the first event, max snatch and max clean and jerk. You got 4 minutes, into 4 minutes, 1 minute reset, and then you have another workout. The day before the competition, I didn't want to practice all of these snatches and clean and jerks. Like, I know I can do a snatch, I know I can do a clean and jerk. My brain wanted me to practice it and make sure I could do them, but I know that I can. So what I did is I went to the practice area and I knew exactly the weights I wanted to hit in the snatch and the clean and jerk. And I set all of them up on the floor and I started a clock. I walked up to the bar, put my first weights up on the bar, and then imagined myself hitting that snatch. And then I took the clips off, added additional weights, and I imagined myself hitting that snatch and practiced the transition of adding and taking off weights and the collars and all of that stuff. And then I reset and I did the exact same thing for the clean and jerk. And what was really cool, the next day in competition, it went exactly as I practiced. And I didn't deviate from the weights. I had it all mapped out. I had practiced it twice in the warm-up area, actually. When I got out there for the games, I executed. It went really well. I did exactly in that event what I set out to do, which was the win. I didn't win the event, but my win was executing exactly the way I had planned. And that's what I want for you in the quarterfinals. Plan out your camera, plan out your gear, plan out your nutrition, plan out these workouts so that if you win the quarterfinals, that's awesome. If you execute to the best of your ability, that is your win in this year's quarterfinals. And with that, if you have questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to help out any way that I can in this and future seasons. And as always, guys, your best days are ahead of you. Get bolder, not older. See ya.